YouTube. So I just wanted to do a quick time-lapse of a land race creation. I've done a air race time-lapse before, and people seem to be interested in it, so I figured I'd do a time-lapse of a land race. So that's what this is. After the creation, there's a couple of laps in different vehicles of said race. When you're watching the cars go through it, keep in mind this course really was designed for motorcycles. Motorbikes, it's a race on vehicles, like in cars and stuff. It's more of an obstacle course. I do a video commentary throughout the whole thing, but I have a cold and feel like crap, so you're gonna get my voice. Enjoy! So what I'm doing right now is I'm adjusting some of these barriers, because what I found was that when I tested this spawn I ended up stuck behind them, so I just lifted them 6 feet up in the air or so. That way you can see them when you come around the corner, but you don't get stuck behind them. Something important in making land races is to test your spawns, otherwise you get some very pissy gamers. So originally I was going to actually end the race back there at that start-finish line and not have any of this highway crap in here, but there is a minimum race length requirement and I had to meet it, so shit got a little bit trickier, which ended up actually being beneficial. It opens up to a little bit more top-end speed. If you've ever been in the creator and had issues placing a start line on next gen, I think you could probably do it on last gen as well, but this is how I get a start line wherever the fuck I want it. I use these floating platforms, flip them upside down, and basically make roads out of them, because what Rockstar seems to want is a perfectly flat start line, which is pretty much impossible in the game. The ground is very much uneven, and sometimes I don't want my start lines to be where Rockstar wants them, so this is how I make them wherever the fuck I want them. What's interesting is halfway through testing this course, Rockstar dropped my start finish line right down to the ground so that you can make the checkpoint from the ground. So it kind of seems like they were doing a little bit of the editing for me, so thanks for looking out, Rockstar. Happy 420. So sometimes checkpoints can be really hard to place. I'm not sure why Rockstar insists on keeping clipping active in the creator. As far as I'm concerned, when you're a camera, you shouldn't really be restricted by the walls and stuff. But it's just my personal opinion. This is one of the ways I get around it. Going first person and kind of scoping every inch of the ground where I want the checkpoint. And when that doesn't work, fucking around with the third person kind of God perspective to try and get the checkpoint placed. And sometimes it's a lot of back and forth over one little tiny piece of land. You see that yellow for a second, you know you can make it, so just sit there and mess with it until you get it, and bam, sometimes you just get that perfect checkpoint. Oh yeah, if you notice, I did kind of end up back at the drawing board here. I had to replace a whole bunch of my checkpoints. Distractions caused mistakes, so I get a little bit anal when it comes to making the races. As much as they may seem confusing, my goal is to make them challenging as fuck, and to force people to really pay attention to their mini-maps. And to, I guess, to try and make people just as ADD as I am. So yeah, all of the testing in this video, well, and in most of my videos actually, is done with the assistance of my crew leader, Undone Demon. He puts up with my bullshit and makes it nice and challenging for the rest of you. So thank him. That he's always there to give me a push in the right direction. God, that drift though. Oh yeah, here's something to fuck up your heads. I don't know if Rockstar does this and anybody else created courses. If they do, let me know. But Rockstar decided to drop a bunch of muscle cars all throughout my course while we were testing it in the Fudos. They do this fairly often in my land races, and I found the best way to get around it is to take the hint and retest the course in muscle cars, or whatever car they decide to drop throughout your course. If you'll notice, as soon as we switched to muscle cars, all the Buccaneers disappeared. Of course, except for the one I just rammed. Come on, was that not the most pimpin' fucking parking job you ever seen in your whole fucking life? Wah, 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 wah. Hope you all enjoyed watching a little piece of my own personal psychoses. If you haven't already, subscribe for more, like, share with your friends, pick some ads, make me some money. God, how the fuck else am I gonna take over the world?